Bikes, they make me smile. La, 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 la. Hello, and welcome to the Bike Tube. I am Jim, and right now I'm going to do a little segment on how to clean your drivetrain. First thing, if you don't have a handy-dandy chain cleaner, like this one, which probably most people don't, and it's kind of a weird little thing to own, but very, very handy, and they do a fantastic job of cleaning chain. I'm going to show you how to use this in a second, but we're going to go with like the standard, regular guy with a rag type cleaning situation. Okay? Don't use a like a dish cleaning fluid or like those heavy degreasers. Use like a lemon degreaser or something that's like light and will vaporize easily.
It smells nice.
Yeah, it's nice if it smells good, right? So I'm just gonna go ahead and spray some degreaser on. Just drip it on a little bit, and then I'm gonna run the chain a little bit. And actually, that's just like centrifugal force will spread that degreaser all over that chain. And you might whoa, okay. There's a hole in this bottle.
Yeah.
So now you can just hold a section of it, and I'm gonna kind of bend it like that so it runs at different angles as it crosses my fingers and like really gets every little section. And it's nice to have a bike stand like this because, as you can see, I don't have to hold the bike up while I flick that wheel or while I turn the crank. But if you can't do that, it also works to like lean the seat up on like a counter that the bike can hang under, and so then the back wheel is up off the ground and you can spin that crank. So this is Joe's bike. Ooh. And
yep.
It has not been cleaned, clearly.
I am lazy.
Far too long. And you'll be surprised, it'll seem like there's an endless amount of dirt on this thing. It'll just keep coming. Alright, and try not to wear like a brand new shirt like I am.
Yeah. Oh boy.
Christmas present, my brother did that.
Yeah.
So another thing you can do,
nice.
I just take an edge of this and I stick it right in along there, and you can actually spin this with its own motion. So you kind of do this like
just flossing it.
Just flossing it, that's right. And that's going to get all that dirt out in between your cogs. Use an old towel, old t-shirt, old jock strap.
Underwear.
Underwear works great. Whitey tighties. Those are
socks.
The classic rag.
Yep.
Another thing you're going to want to do, look at that.
Ooh.
On these little cogs that run inside the rear derailleur, a lot of gunk really builds up on there. So what you're going to do is go ahead and kind of grip that open spot with the towel. And then when you run this, that'll spin around inside your fingers and you'll feel, and you'll just be able to see, look at all that. So there's a second one. This one's getting cleaner, but this one still has a bunch of junk on it, so make sure to do that one too.
Buttload.
And it's going to do the same deal. I'm going to wrap it around with my finger, and I'm going to run that same thing, and we got all that gunk out of there. Again, it's just a pile of
That's what
crap.
my underwear look like.
And we're also going to clean that crank up a little bit too. We just want to get that main gunk off. Use part of the cloth that I put a little degreaser on. We'll just kind of, and obviously we got some degreaser on all of it, but now we kind of gotta wipe the dirt off. So switch to a clean part of the rag. All right, looking pretty good. I'm gonna go ahead and look at the back side. Pretty dirty, and I'll tell you that this is probably the most important part of bike maintenance is cleaning. It's constant cleaning. It really extends the life. It's the most important part. Professionals will tell you that time and time again, till you're blue in the face.
Preventative maintenance.
That's right.
Preventing failure. Do with my life.
And I'm going to go ahead and get this wet again. And this one is to get that degreaser off of there. So we're going to get this thing as kind of clear of degreaser as we can, because if that degreaser stays on there, then the lube that we put on a little bit later will just degrade and then eventually be gone, and you'll have a dry chain, which is never good either. A dirty chain is sometimes better than a dry chain, just because dry is really degrading on a chain, and if it's a little dirty, sometimes it has enough lube that it's actually lasting a little longer. So, got to make sure, get it nice and clean. But we got, you know, you can go ahead and kind of, you know, rinse it off a little. You want to get some water on a few parts. Hopefully, no one cares if this floor gets wet.
Yeah.
So then, once you get it wet, you want it to dry off before you put lube on it. So this is a good standard cleaning procedure, and it only takes a few minutes just to hop on and do it. Use a little degreaser, clean it off, and then let it dry, and then we're just going to throw some lube on, okay? And this is just a little tiny bit.
Never want to be raw dogging.
So, I'm just going to give a few drops as I spin the chain. And I'm going to drop some into the cassette as well. There's some lube everywhere, and I'm just going to give it a spin. And again, let that centrifugal force kind of spread my lube around for me. And it's all getting in the crevices of the chain and in the cassette. And so we have this whole thing lubed up. And then I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to grab my rag again. Ah!
Oh boy.
I should have put the cap on your lube. You don't want lube spilling everywhere.
Lube is valuable.
It's trouble too if you let it get out of control.
Yeah.
Alright, and then I'm going to take a clean part of my rag. And it's getting hard to find, but found one. And I'm just going to wipe this lube off. If you let that lube sit, it'll actually coagulate, which is a good word, and it'll collect more dirt if you don't wipe it off. So you just want like a nice, smooth, thin sheen of lube on your chain and on your cassette. So,
that's what I'm talking about.
there you go. So now, this thing spins, it's running nice and smooth. Alright?
Like butter.
Like butter. And that's pretty much the name of the game. Cleaning. And that's going to give you that nice smooth ride, and it's going to make your stuff last a whole lot longer. So, that is our bike washing video from the Bike Tube. Thank you for joining me. I'm Jim, and we are at thebiketube.com. Check us out.
I'm Joe. Out.
La 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 la. Peace. Dissonant chord, did you hear that?